My name is Rada Akbar. I'm a visual artist originally from Afghanistan. I was born and grew up in Afghanistan, but I have been living in France since 2021. My work consists of different bodies of artworks, but the main subject has always been women, Afghan women, in my work. As a visual artist, I use different mediums. I use paper, I use plaster, textile, and different techniques. The main subject is always feminism, women, their fights, the history they have contributed to, and women as leaders, change makers. In the Château de Saumur, I'm presenting two bodies of my work, Akbar, which means super women, and the infinite power. The Akbar series, I started it back in my hometown, in my home country, Afghanistan, in 2018. And the concept idea of Akbar was to give homage to Afghan women and also women in the region. But the main focus was on Afghan women, of course. I would select 8 women every year for historical figures, for contemporary figures, create wearable monuments in the forms of dresses to honor and to appreciate their contribution to Afghan history, to art, to culture, and to the changes that they made in Afghanistan. A series, The Infinite Power, I started it after I was evacuated to France. And it's a mix of plaster, acrylic paint, and paper cutting technique. And it's to, again, honor and celebrate the bravery, the courage, and the resistance of Afghan women towards suppression, towards a regime that is trying to erase them. For the project Akbar, after the first year, after I held the first round of the exhibition, the project, the bigger goal of this project was to establish a women's history museum in Afghanistan, in Kabul. And from 2019, I have been working, meanwhile working on the Akbar exhibitions, I have been also working on establishing the Women's History Museum. And in 2020, I could secure a historical building for the museum. And I had a team of volunteers as historians, as policymakers, strategy makers, artists, activists who have been helping me to establish the museum. And unfortunately, after the collapse of Afghanistan in 2021, I had to put a pause to this project. But I have managed to continue with my Superwomen project in France. On the 15th of August, after the collapse of Kabul, I was contacted by the French embassy to go to the embassy as I was on the list of French government to be evacuated. And after 3 days of staying in the embassy and at the airport, finally I was evacuated to France, and I arrived in Paris on 19th of August 2021. And since then, I have been living in Paris and France. Before the collapse, few weeks prior to the collapse of Kabul, I could manage, with the help of some of my friends, to send out the dresses that will be exhibited in the Château de Saumur out of Afghanistan. But unfortunately, some of the pieces, the paintings and the installation pieces, have remained in Afghanistan and have been destroyed by the Taliban. 2 months after my arrival, I was part of, I had the chance to exhibit in a collective exhibition in Paris. And after that, I have been having several exhibitions in Paris, outside France. For instance, in last year in Palais de Tokyo, or at the moment, I'm also part of a collective exhibition in Louvre-Lens. But this exhibition is quite exceptional for me because it's the first time after the collapse of Afghanistan, since my arrival in France, it's the first time that I have the opportunity to exhibit all the superwomen dresses together, including the Infinite Power series. And as an artist, it means a lot to me, especially the journey that these dresses had, that they had to run away from Afghanistan. They have been evacuated as well, and they survived. Today they are safe, and they have this chance to be exhibited all together. I think my works fits very well to be displayed in this castle because I believe women belong to places that is a symbol of power and decision-making and change-making. And castles and all these places have been a place where the leaders, the change-makers, they have been residing. So I think it's the best place for women to be because they have been the change makers, they have been the leaders, even though if they have been erased from history books. This is what they really deserve to be and to be displayed and exhibited.